My dear friends, in this particular lecture we are going to learn that how can we transfer data from one file to another file. So transferring data from one file to another file, there we have to communicate with the server. So from the client side application, the data will send to one page to another page. That only can be possible while we just communicate with the server. So this is only possible by using the server side scripting language. In this video we are going to learn the PHP as the server side scripting language, where we will use PHP to transfer data from this file to another file. So let's assume we have got two text field, simple two text field we have got over here. Now in this text field user will provide some data. So user is going to write the name and the mobile number, and user is going to click the submit button. And what is going to happen? The data, that is the name and the mobile number, is going to be transferred to another file. So here you can see this is the file 1 we have created. So you have just two text input type, one and another one, the two text input type. The first one is going to accept the name, and the second one is going to accept the mobile number, and we also have a submit button. So this is what we have designed over here, very simple. And one thing you just see, so this input type text field and the submit button that we have prepared inside the form. Now this is the form that we can see. Now I hope you have learned in the HTML classes the form designing section, so I'm not going to explain that. So I hope you know this thing. So what exactly I'm going to explain you here. So here you can see the action in the form. So what does it mean? When user is going to click this submit button, that is this submit button, then what is going to happen? The form action will be taken to file2.php. So file2.php is a separate file. So this particular file, the name is file2.php. So action will be taken from this file to another file, and in this process what is going to happen? The data, that is user is going to provide some data, name and mobile number. This data is going to be carried forward to this particular file. Now how is this going to happen? So let me tell you, to transfer data from one page to another page we have to learn the server side scripting language. So that is why using the PHP we are going to perform the transfer of file from one file to another file. So this is a file, and from this file you can see this is the design portion. User is going to put some data, and those data is going to be carried to this particular file. So we are going to communicate with the local server to perform this operation. So let us understand now how data is going to be recognized. The user is going to put some data over here, and how that particular data is going to be recognized. So you can see, so first this is how it is going to be recognized. So this input field, that is where user is going to provide the name. In this particular input field, the data will be provided by the user, and this will be recognized by full name. So this is called namespace, and here I have written full name. Full name, in case of full name I could have also written a simple name or student name or candidate name or any other user defined, just to recognize. This field will be recognized by this particular name. So you can give this name anything as you wish to give, right? And user is going to provide the mobile number over here, and this particular field will be recognized by, you can see, number, right? By number, by this particular field will be recognized by the number. So let us understand now. And another thing you can see, and the action, okay, so action will be taken to page 2, and the method that we are going to use, let us use the method get, right? We are going to use the method get. So what is this? This is the process by which we are going to communicate with the server, right? By using the get method we are going to communicate with the server, and server will let us transfer the file from the client page to the second page, right? This is called a second page, and this is the first page. Client is going to provide data in the file1.php, and then the data will be carried to the second page, that is file2.php, and this thing will be done by the method get. Now here in the file2.php, so data will be carried over here. Now how the data is going to be carried? Using this method we have used the get method. So I'll write get, and here inside this, as I told you how the data of this field is going to be recognized by this name, full name. So I will write here full name. So the data which the user is going to provide in the name field, right, the data is going to be recognized by the full name. So in the file2.php you can see from here file1.php full name, so data will be provided by the user in this text field, and the same will be carried here, get by here in this file2.php. So that is how we are written over here. Now here I will write dollar again get, okay, and so here I'm going to write number. So now this is how the data is going to be carried from file 1 to file 2, right, by this method get full name, get number, because we have used the get method over here. So in this process the server is going to fetch just transfer the data from the file1.php to file2.php. Now how can we see? So the data has to be printed in the file2.php. How will that be possible? So if I write here echo, right, I'm just going to write here echo, right? So that means this data, whatever data will be carried over here, that will be printed over here. So I'm writing echo. So echo command is going to print this data, right? Now let us execute the same over here. Now let us execute the same over here. So file1, file2. So first I'm going to access the file1. So this is the file1. So I'm going to provide some data here. Let's say I'll write here bis, only I'll write bis, right? Okay, bis, okay, Biswajit, Mukherjee. So I've written Biswajit Mukherjee, and number I will give some number I've given over here, and this data I'm going to carry it to the second page, that is file2.php, using get method, right? Using the get method. Okay, it is going to communicate with the server using the get method. Now I have clicked the submit button. Now I can see Biswajit Mukherjee that has been carried to the file2.php, right? And also the number is printed over here. So both the data has been carried. Now another thing I will do over here in the file2.php, let me just take a beer. So here I will give a beer to get a line between two data, right? Okay, so let me repeat this process once again. Now you can see in two separate lines have got the data, right? Now I want to I want to convert this into capital letter, so I can use a function over here, right? So if I write here str, okay, to upper upper, so this particular function is going to, right? So user may give the data in the smaller case or uppercase, or in the mixture, in the combination of both smaller case and uppercase, but those data has to be printed in the second file.php in the capital letter. So how can you do that? So I am going to use this particular function. The function name is str2upper. This particular function will fetch the data. This data will be fetched from the file1.php, and the same will be converted to uppercase. Let me show you. Now can you see the data has been converted to uppercase. Now let's say I want the data in the lowercase. So how to do that? Instead of upper I will write str2 lower, lower. Now let's see over here. Now let's see, user will give the data in say uppercase. So you can see B has been written in capital, M also has been written in capital. Now if I click the submit button, so you can see B and M, so everything will be converted into the lowercase because I have used str2 lower. Now so we have used the get method, right? Now we can do the same thing using the post method. So let me just continue the same thing using the post method. What you exactly need to do, instead of get method we will write post, POST. So we are going to use the post method. So some changes we have to do over here in the second file.php. So instead of get we have to write post, POST. Here also we have to write post, right? Now what is the exact difference between the get method and the post method, that we need to understand, right? So for that, first see here. Now as we are transferring data from the file1 to the file2, this is the file1 you can see, and we are transferring data from file1 to the file2. So in this process what is happening over here, the data which we have provided, okay, the data which we have provided, okay, all the data. So let me just repeat once more, the data which has been provided, you can see this is we have done using the post method, right? Now if you see over here, file1, okay, data has been carried to file2 using the post method. So nothing is printed on the URL, only we can see file2.php, right? File2.php, nothing else has been printed here in the URL. But while we were doing the same in the get method, just see the get method, the data was passing through the URL. Now if I write here get instead of post, we will be using the get method, right? Now we are going to see the changes over here. Now here if you see, as we have used the get method, so beside the file2.php you can see the data has been printed over here. So you can see this full name, that is the namespace for transferring the name. So name has been Gautam Mukherjee, which the user has provided over here. You can see over here Gautam Mukherjee, and this has been carried to, you can see the for recognizing full name. So you can see full name was the namespace for recognizing the data, and the data was Gautam Mukherjee. And in the second text box, data has been passed, that is the number. You can see number and also you have got the number. So you can see in the URL everything is visible, so the data passes through the URL. So this is not a very secure way to transfer data. So the GET method is communicating with the server, and the data is passed to the server through the URL of the browser. And another thing is that this data are stored in the cache of the browser, and this is quite insecure process of transferring data. So the POST method is much more secure, and there are limitations, that is you can't send more than 1024 characters using the GET method, because there is a limitations in the size and the length of the URL. So you can't as because we are transferring data using the GET method through the URL, we can't transfer many data using the GET method. But by using the POST method, if we transfer data, then we can see the data not transferred through the URL. You can see, just let me repeat the process once more, just see. Okay, so if you go and check it out over here now, so data will be sent. Now you can see the URL is just blank, nothing is shown, only you can see the file through the PHP, the file name. So in the case of POST method, the data are not transferred through the URL. So, and there are no limitations, that the maximum limit of data that you can send from one page to another page. You can send unlimited amount of data from one page to another page. There are no such restrictions. So it is better to use POST method than the GET method, because GET method is quite insecure, because if you deal with password and some sensitive data, and if you try to transfer those data from one file to another file, so those data will be visible here to everybody. So this is not the secure way to transfer data, while that will be visible to everybody. So the POST method is the much more secure method, and also as you are using the POST method, the data will be not saved in the browser. So in all the times, so it is the POST method is considered to be much more secure and much more healthy a way to transfer data from one file to another file. I hope this video is going to help you to understand how we can transfer data from one file to another file using the both GET method and the POST method, and also you have understood the limitations of the GET method and the advantage of using the POST method over the GET method. And if you like this video, consider clicking the like button, and if you have not subscribed to my channel, consider subscribing to my channel. In the next video, I'm going to come up with the new lesson, that is how you can upload file to the server, right? Whatever file, any text file or photo, video, any file you can upload to the server, that I'm going to teach you in the next video. Thank you and goodbye for today.